Okay. Uh, Welcome everyone to this 14th lecture of this course. So today we are going to begin with the concept of subthreshold conduction, and the main impetus of subthreshold conduction initially would be to understand the subthreshold leakages. Okay, as I said, under the static power dissipations, the most important static power dissipation happens through the subthreshold leakage. Okay, subthreshold conduction. So this is going to be a recap of what we have already studied in our PMMD course, okay, where we dealt with it in much more details. But in AVLSI, we will just understand the concept behind the subthreshold conduction, why there is a conduction even when so-called the VGS is less than VT, when it is when the MOSFET is supposed to be switched off, that is, it should be in the cutoff region. But there is always a conduction, okay, leading to the subthreshold leakages. So that is what we are going to observe today. That is what we are going to learn. All right. So in our PMMD course, we actually derived this from the first principles. Okay, this is the total charge for the MOS devices. It's not just the MOS capacitor, MOSFET, or even gated diode, or whichever device you want to you speak about, any transistor, any field effect transistor, FET, is going to have this amount of charge. Okay. Now, how it is coming, that is beyond the scope of this course. I mean, it will take a lot of time, so we will just exclude that. But what you have to keep in mind is this. This is specifically for the embedded system students, and for the PMMD students, this is just a recap. All of you should be knowing this by now. All right. So remember that the moment, so here is your VG, okay? The body and the source are short circuited. So if I put the source grounded, the body also I will put grounded, so that the VBS or the body effect is nullified. Okay. Now here is your drain bias VD. So the net effective field along the channel, which we will prefer to call it as the lateral field, the lateral field is due to VDS. So VS is equal to 0. So what is VDS? Drain voltage of the drain with respect to the source. This is how all the notations are. So this is the terminal. The first letter D stands for the drain terminal. So the voltage of the drain terminal with respect to the source. This is what it means. Okay. So if I call something as VGB, that means the potential of this node over here with respect to the body terminal, this node over here. So as you can clearly understand, the moment when we are saying that source and the so VB over here is actually 0. Okay. So whenever we say that source is grounded, body is also grounded, so VGB will be equal to VGS. Simple. Okay. So there is no body effect. Um, there is a body effect parameter and all that. I am sure you have learned it in your VLSI design as well as in PMMD. So I mean, I went through a lot of details over there. Okay. So now what we are trying to do is we are simply going to increase the value of gate voltage from 0 to the maximum voltage that is possible in that particular technology node, that is VDD. Okay. So for the VD, that is a drain bias, let us say we have kept it at VDD only, the maximum voltage. All right. In that case, what we all know is that the MOSFET starts conducting only when the VG is between VT and VDD. Correct. So what we have known already is that, so there will be couple of regions of operation, that is 0 to VT. Okay, this is your VG value. This is your region. Then what do we know? The moment VG becomes higher than VT, what we will be having is the VOV. Correct. VOV is positive. Okay, so when VOV is greater than 0, so when VG is okay, let me write it elsewhere. It's less space. So remember, whenever I am putting VGS, that is equal to the VGB also, because body and source are shorted. Okay. Then this is with respect to VOV. Then this is the MOS region of operation. Okay. Very good. So what we are trying to do from 0 uh, VGS less than VT. So what is the VOV? Is negative. Remember, VOV is the overdrive, right? Gate overdrive. So VGS minus VT. Obviously, when VGS itself is lesser than VT, then VOV will be less than 0. Okay? Now, this is the region where we used to call it as cutoff, but I will cut this and I'll write subthreshold. This is the region which we have to concentrate now. Okay. After that, what was the region? VGS, this, and then this is equal to VDS plus VT. Okay, I am just increasing VGS. So 0 to VDD चेंज करेंगे, ठीक है? So 0 to VT तक जब है, तब है this. Okay. So now what is the case? Since VGS is greater than VT, your VOV is definitely uh, greater than 0. Okay. So what is VOV? VOV is VGS minus VT. तो इस VT को अगर यहाँ पर लेके आते हैं, so VGS minus VT will be less than VDS. What is this condition? We all know that is saturation. ठीक है? Now VDS plus VT से भी हम बढ़ा रहे हैं. कितना तक? The maximum voltage possible in that technology node, that is VDD. Okay. So what will be the value of VOV now? Obviously, makes sense. Okay. So this is the non-saturation region. It is better to call it non-saturation. Rather, what I'll do is, it is usually called as linear, but we will see there is a region where it is not linear. It gradually turns into saturation. So we will just simply call non-saturation. That is technically more accurate. So in our BTech days, we used to call it ohmic region or linear region or triode region. Don't use these terms anymore. This is much more technically correct. Okay. So whatever I have drawn, written in this small table is essentially like this. So if you are plotting VGS here, 0, okay, and here is your current ID, ठीक है? आप 0 से VDD तक बढ़ा रहे हो. We are going traversing this way. So until VT, and here is say VDD, rather let us say VDS plus VT. What is the case? 0 to VT, you will not be able to observe anything. Note what I said. You will not be able to observe any current. Okay, so I am not saying that ID will be 0. Why can't you observe anything? Because these are all in the linear scale. Okay, so here it is in volts. So ये ID क्या होगा? Microamperes में होंगे. ठीक है? Let us say in the range of microamperes. Now, as we will see today, I'll just we will just see here. Look, it is ID. As you can see, ID is proportional to e to the power of VOV by m phi t. Okay, what is VOV? VGS minus VT. So basically what we understand is ID is proportional to e to the power of VGS by m phi t actually. I will just discuss, or I will explain basically how you arrive at this fantastic equation. In all the textbooks on circuits, they will not mention this. They will simply say only this relation. So since you are my students and I kind of teach at a higher level, so what I will do is I'll specifically mention how this equation has come and what is the physics or circuits behind it, circuit concepts behind it. Okay, so now let us see. So what do we get? It is essentially an exponential function. That is what I'm trying to drive at. ठीक है, देखो VOV, even more accurate than that is, it is e to the power of VOV by m phi t. ठीक है, अच्छा यहां पर हमने क्या देखे हैं, between 0 to VT, यानी कि when VGS is less than threshold voltage VT, it is in the sub threshold. That means overdrive is less than 0, है ना? तो यहां पर क्या हो रहा है, if VOV is less than 0, that is negative, आपका ID will essentially be proportional to what? E to the power of some negative quantity. So now you realize that it is an exponentially varying curve, however with a negative sign. That means it is an exponentially decreasing curve. Okay, therefore when we are speaking about this linear scale in microamperes order, ठीक है, तो exponentially decrease हो जाता है. Okay, so if it is going exponentially, that means microamperes से with very very small change in VGS. देखो, another thing is very interesting here. Why am I saying that it is immediately decreasing to 0? I mean very very close to 0. Why? Because we will see the significance of this small m term. Our PMMD students are smiling right now, I think, because they know all this very very well. Huh. So what is this phi t? Anyone from PMMD? Phi t is that small
Surface
notation.
potential.
Yeah. No. Surface potential is phi s. Anyway, I have this is the phi s. That is surface. Phi t is the volt equivalent of temperature, kT by q. Anyway, so that happens to be 26 millivolt for silicon at 300 degrees Kelvin. In Kelvin, we usually don't bother about this degree. Anyway. All right. So now, if it is 26, what is important for us to note? ठीक है, 26 वगैरह आप भूल जाओ, आप इसको याद रखना. It is millivolts. Okay. Think like an engineer. Think in the perspective of order of magnitude, not exact value. ये 25 है या 26 है, that will essentially depend on the temperature and the doping concentrations and all that. It will slightly vary. But anyways, this milli is important. So that means ये phi t जो है ना, you are essentially multiplying something multiplied by 10 to the power of -3 volts. और VOV का ऑर्डर कितना होगा? Anybody? Hello. Hello. Why isn't anybody responding?
Sir, in volt.
In volts. Excellent. देखो, VGS minus VT. VGS will be in volts. VT is also in volt threshold voltage. So यहाँ पर जो है ना, यहाँ पर आप volts में measure कर रहे हो. ठीक है? And this quantity small m, as I have written, for large devices, mostly it will be 1 only. That is the reason why this small m term, this body effect coefficient, that is essentially ignored in most of the courses. In fact, in advanced VLSI also, I will be ignoring this small m. Towards the end of this course, when we will be going into small scale devices here, only then we will look into the small m. That becomes important. Okay. For now, as of now, we can take small m equal to 1. तो अभी क्या हो रहा है, यहां पर एक नेगेटिव है जैसे मैंने बताया, ठीक है, बिकॉज इट इज लेस देन VGS इज लेस देन VT. ओके, सो इन द सब थ्रेशोल्ड रीजन VOV इज लेस देन 0. ठीक है, तो यहां पर एक नेगेटिव आ गई, वोल्ट्स के ऑर्डर में कुछ है और डिवाइडेड बाय मिली वोल्ट के ऑर्डर में कुछ है. तो दैट मीन्स यू कैन सी that this 10 power minus 3 in the numerator becomes 10 power 3, right? तो यानी कि this negative quantity सिर्फ नहीं है, it is a large negative quantity. Getting me, everyone? Very important. So what happens is your ID is not only an exponentially decreasing curve, but also this exponentially decreasing curve is actually a very large quantity thanks to this millivolt thing. Okay, इसीलिए हम जब इसको IDVGS प्लॉट करते हैं ना, when we are looking at the IDVGS characteristics of the MOSFET, then this part appears to be, this is very important, it simply appears to be as if current is zero, but it is not. Okay, now इसके बाद वाला पार्ट सबको पता है, VT to VDS plus VT, ये वाला रेंज सैचुरेशन है. दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई दिस इज पैराबोलिक. फिर पैराबोलिक आके यहां पर जब आएगा VDS plus VT के बाद से नॉन सैचुरेशन है. सो इट्स ऑलमोस्ट लाइक अ लीनियर. ओके, नाउ वी आर नाउ ट्राइंग टू कॉन्सेंट्रेट ओनली बिटवीन 0 to VT वाला पार्ट. ओके, अब देखो, when we are trying to find out a larger range, ये स्केल को बढ़ाना है, तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं? टिपिकल एग्जांपल इज द बोडे प्लॉट. And here I'll put the gain. In decibels. Okay, यहां का यूनिट क्या होगा? We will say it hertz. Now what is important is, अगर हमने hertz में ही बताया ना, suppose it is a linear one, तब आप कितना तक जाओगे? Maximum, if you want to plot it here, you will reach up to, let us say, 100 hertz. This is 0 means DC. Okay, so if you are now trying to plot a typical amplifier, what will be the Bode plot for this characteristics? It will always be a straight line. Why? Because the op amp or any practical amplifier, they will essentially be having a bandwidth in the order of at least megahertz. ठीक है, तो यहां पर आपने तो हर्ट्ज में लिखे हैं ना, तो आपका कट ऑफ होने का कोई चांस ही नहीं है. जस्ट इमेजिन इफ यू ड्रू लाइक दिस, that means your cutoff is somewhere around, let us say, 75 hertz. Seriously, 75 hertz, can you imagine? Okay, you can't even imagine something like that. However, if you are now if you are plotting, let us say, a typical amplifier with at least two poles are there, what will happen? You are going to see something like this. आपका ये नीचे वाला पार्ट कट ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी तो मिल जाएगा. ओके, दैट इज अराउंड, लेट अस से, हाउ मच, 15 hertz. And the higher cutoff frequency is way more, it will be in megahertz. You can't get it. So if you want to extend the range, typically what we do is we will plot this on the semi-log plot. Semi-log क्यों कहते हैं? Because this will be in the log scale, this will be in the linear scale. This is called semi-log. A typical log plot will be how much? Log and log also in this case. Remember one thing, this is something many people make a mistake. We are plotting the logarithmic value of the gain on a linear scale. इस बात को ध्यान से समझना. यानी कि यहां पर जो scales है ना, ticks जिसे कहते हैं, that will be 1 dB, 2 dB, 3 dB, 4 dB, 5 dB. So this is linear. ठीक है? So we are taking the logarithmic value and plotting on a linear scale. That's why it is called a semi-log plot. Very good. अगर हमें ये lower cutoff frequency भी देखने हैं, upper cutoff frequency भी देखने हैं, तो अब हम क्या करेंगे? इसको हम लॉग स्केल में प्लॉट करेंगे, लॉग स्केल में प्लॉट करेंगे, लेकिन दिस इज नॉट अ फ्रीक्वेंसी इज द इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल, राइट? एक्सेलेंट। तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे यहाँ पर, हाउ डज इट लुक लाइक, लेट्स सी। Here we are also going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. However, these are all powers of 10. These are all known to you. I do not know why I'm even discussing this, but anyway, if somebody is unclear, then it will become clear now. तो यानी कि यहाँ पर हम powers of 10 के हिसाब से plot कर रहे हैं. Okay, so if we are doing that, then what is the advantage? तो 0 से 10 तक, this 0 to let us say 10, 0 से लेके 2 तक, so that means basically 10 to the power 0 to 10 to the power 2, that means 100 यहीं तक आ जाएगा. So that means अगर हमारा प्लॉट है लोअर कट ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी अगर 15 हर्ट्ज है, then our plot will look somewhat like this. This will be around 15 hertz हो गई, ठीक है? And when if we our higher cut of frequency is let us say megahertz, okay, 10 megahertz. 10 megahertz, remember this is 10 power 6 is mega, correct? So 10 megahertz is around 10 power 7. It will appear like that. So that means we can say what is the bandwidth? 10 power 7 minus 15. तो ये lower cut of frequency कोई बोलता भी नहीं है, because what happens is in mostly you can understand it is 10 power 7. What is the bandwidth basically? Bandwidth is equal to 10 power 7 minus 15. This 15 is nothing compared to 10 power 7, so nobody cares about it. So bandwidth is primarily determined by the upper cutoff frequency. That is what people will report. And this lower cutoff frequency can be taken care of through circuit methods, so that there will be no lower cutoff frequency. In fact, that is the reason why any practical op-amp, जैसे ये this kind of bandwidth you will find in the typical CS amplifier. You are learning it in your analog IC design, I think. So in the CS amplifier or typical single stage amplifiers, you will actually have the lower cutoff frequency. But in practical op-amps and OTAs, you will not have this part. And that is the reason why you will notice that op-amps can be used to amplify DC also. Okay, whereas a CS amplifier you cannot amplify DC signals. DC matlab frequency is 0. ठीक है ना? So in case of an analog ICs, you will essentially have a Bode plot like that. Now usually what people will be doing is, if you are not essentially using for very high frequencies, what people will do is what people will be doing is, remember I told you the metric of an IC is not the bandwidth, it's the gain bandwidth product. So what is the gain bandwidth product? It is actually the area under this curve, है ना? तो अगर area under the curve अगर same है, then what we can do is we can extend this and basically get a higher gain but lower bandwidth. So that means in an op-amp you have got this facility. So अगर आपको चाहिए कि मेरा application 1 kilohertz तक ही सीमित रहेगा, we don't require it for amplifying this megahertz order. So all you can do is you simply reduce the bandwidth and increase the gain. That is why GBW is always the same. So the area under the curve here and the area under the curve over here remains the same. ठीक है? So GBW, as I was telling you in one of the lectures, that GBW is our concern. So now coming back to the point, here what we are seeing is, if you want to do the analysis of an amplifier, we have already used Bode plot in our engineering BTech degree. Okay, so we have increased the range. All right. In case of this also, IDVGS characteristics also, we will prefer to have a log scale on the y-axis. Here, the log was on the x-axis because we wanted to extend the range in the frequency scale, in the frequency axis. Here we want to increase the range in the current axis. इसको हम log में करेंगे. So previously on this plot what we have seen, 0 1 2 3 4 like this. Okay, so they were all in the this much microamperes. Now I am going to plot the same thing on the log scale. It's a matter of kind of, sort of mathematical tool which we are using to study this phenomenon. Okay. Now, as I said, I will remove this micro now. This is in amperes directly. Okay. And then this will be in the order of 10. Okay. So instead of this, I can plot like 10 power minus 9, minus 8, minus 7, minus 6, minus 5, minus 4. Okay. Then what is the situation? Notice something very interesting is going to happen now. Just compare it over here. Notice that when it is above VDS plus VT, ठीक है, ध्यान से समझो इसको, इस बात. Okay. When it is above, when VGS is higher than VDS plus VT, this part. Okay, I'm speaking about this part. What is this region? We have seen it is linear. So ID is proportional to VGS. Okay, so it is a linear region. अगर ये linear region है, तो exponentially what is the variation? That is varying from like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is linearly increasing, right? So exponentially in the powers of 10, it will all be kind of like a horizontal straight line on the microampere order. तो यहाँ पर microampere order कहाँ है? This is in amperes, right? So this is your microampere order. So the entire VDS plus VT and the rest will be simply like a straight line on the log scale over here. Because this is the order we are plotting. We are not plotting about the exact magnitude. So as you can see, this is linear in the microampere order. So microampere order तो यही है ना, 10 power minus 6. तो इसी में ही सारे के सारे ये VDS plus VT से जितना भी current. So in the linear scale, what we are seeing that it is increasing rapidly is basically a flat line on the log scale. समझ में आया सबको? हाँ, I am just plotting it on the log scale here. देखो, it's very interesting actually. Okay, ये VT से VDS plus VT, saturation region. What we know, this is a parabolic variation. ID is proportional to VOV square. ठीक है? Very good. तो उस हिसाब से अगर देखा जाए तो ये थोड़ा सा कम होगा. Okay, but still it's hardly noticeable. थोड़ा सा. So 10 power minus 6 से 10 power minus 7 तक थोड़ा सा कम हो सकता है. Let us, okay, let us put it like this. However, VT से जब कम है, 0 to VT, when VGS is less than VT, greater than 0 obviously, okay, then what is the situation? Notice that here it was flat, that means current was 0, so-called cutoff, okay, as I was explaining from the very beginning of this course. Now we find that it is actually proportional to e to the power of minus of a large negative quantity. Okay, then अच्छा, अगर ये exponential है, it's in the power e to the power of minus something, so that means in the log scale it is going to be a straight line. Okay, so this is a straight line which we are going to observe. All right, so that means whatever you are able to observe on the linear scale as okay rapidly increasing current straight away increase हो रहा है, This whole thing is like a flat line, all in the microampere order. Okay, but there is a huge amount of variation that happens which is less than VT. Now you can argue, okay, sir, it is exponentially decreasing. So that means if I'm putting VGS very low, that anyway the current will be very less, isn't it? You are absolutely correct. But the point is, when we assume that VGS equal to 0, okay, that means when is the VGS equal to 0? Again, let's come to VTC. याद है ना? Sorry. Okay. So this was our VT. This is 0. Here was our, this is for the P MOSFET. So I'll just put, let's concentrate here. So that means when our VI, which is actually equal to VGSN, okay, when VGSN is less than VT, what did we see? That the voltage was always VDD, correct? And why will it always be in VDD? Because whatever small, even the slightest reduction of charge is there because of the leakages, it will immediately be replenished by the P MOSFET, which is in linear in this domain. Okay, na? Anyway, what we will see, what is important for us right now is that यहाँ पर VDD था, okay, but there is leakage happening. So between 0 to VTN, we have told that okay, N MOSFET is switched off. The thing is, switched off means there is a small amount of this amount of current which is flowing because VGS is 0 over here. Yes or no? So if VGS is 0, VGSN, for example, VGSN is 0. Okay. So even though the output voltage is VDD, 10 power minus 9 amount of current is continuously trickling out of the output capacitor node. Okay. This is called the off current. Okay. And the current which it is able to flow at when the MOSFET is, I mean, having the maximum input VGS. So let us say here you will notice that how do you recognize what is the exact, you can only see the order of the current, right? Now for the on current part, we will look on the linear scale. Okay, so if you go over here, I don't know how much is it, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so let us say this is 10 microamperes. So this is what I will call as the I on. So I on is equal to 10 microamperes. Okay, and I off is equal to the current when VGS equal to 0. So if you are always, we are used to in our BTech, we are always used to looking on the linear scale. तो हम लोग क्या कहते हैं, I off is always 0. अरे नहीं है यार, ये linear scale है. Okay. Very good. So now this I off is in the order. I should not say that it is exact because this is in a log scale, right? It is in the order of, in fact, single hota. Okay. Let us say 1 nanoamperes. और यहाँ पर है कितना? 10 microamperes. Okay. Very, very important concept we are learning now. All right. Now let us understand that means when we assume, when we think that our circuit is not essentially wasting any power because there is no switching, obviously, even then we see that there is a continuously, some amount of current is always continuously wasted. Okay, so that means you must have seen, right, when you have not used your smartphone for, let us say, 3 days or 4 days, still the battery is discharging. How is it? There is not even a single call, you have not even used it, still the battery is discharging. That is because of this fine fellow over here. Okay, so that is the major thing. And later on in this course, if I have the time, I will teach you about the USB pen drives. circuit. Okay, so you might be thinking, sir, if that is the case, then how come when I'm not using my pen drive for 10 years, still the data is still there? You are not, I am not having any I-off in that case. USB has got something very, very universal serial bus circuit is made in such a way that there will be no leakage path at all. Okay, we will look into that. Storage devices in later on in this course. However, in the main circuits, so to speak, not the memory devices, in the ICs, you will always have this I-off. Okay, and this I-off is what is the main concern for the, as I have told you earlier, that is the P static dissipation. Okay, if now, just to complete this discussion, if I want to ensure कि this I-off is minimized, हमको क्या करना है? PMMD students, I have discussed this in our last lecture, last semester.
Sir, increase VT.
Exactly. तब क्या हो जाएगा? This is our right. So what I will do is simply इसके जो है ना ये शिफ्ट हो जाएगा. अगर ये शिफ्ट हो जाता है तो obviously our off current will decrease. But in our previous lecture, I told you what is the problem of shifting VT, increasing VT. Remember, in our last lecture, we said that our short circuit power will be minimized if we are having this. Remember, there was a term like VDD minus twice VT whole cube. Correct? There was a factor like this. So if you want to completely nullify that, VT will be equal to VDD by 2. Anyway, we will come to that problem. So what we understand is that if we shift the VT towards the right side, if we increase the threshold voltage, okay, then our static power will reduce, but it has got serious consequences. In fact, that is what I was telling you in the previous lecture also on short circuit power. If I am increasing threshold voltage, what is the drawbacks of it? We cannot do it in our actual circuits. Otherwise, it seems so beautiful, right? So if you make VT is equal to VDD by 2, wow. PSC, short circuit current, is always equal to 0. Excellent. That's totally gone. And also now, right now, what we see is if we can make VT is equal to VDD by 2, that means I'm shifting. This is VDD. This is your VDD by 2. So VT is here. Okay. Then what is the situation? You are going to have something like that. Your PSC will also be, I'll put tending towards 0. So we are actually seeing all glorious things if I can increase the threshold voltage. Okay. But I want you to figure out why it cannot be done. Okay. Anyway, I will be telling you the reason, but I want you to think. I will always appreciate every one of you to have your original thinking. That is what matters. Otherwise, Google will do everything. You search everything on Wikipedia and Google, you will find everything there. So theory and all are fine. Books are there and all. But I want your original thinking. And this original thinking is what makes you a better engineer. Okay. All right. So now, if you increase threshold voltage, there are serious problems. Okay. As of now, I'll just tell you only that much. So what is the other way of reducing P static? Simply, we have to reduce the slope. अगर हम इसको ऐसे बना देंगे, ठीक है, तब क्या हो रहेगा? VT वहीं का वहीं रहेगा. ओके. ऑन करंट भी वहीं का वहीं रहेगा, because you are not shifting the threshold voltage here. You are not shifting. Earlier, what you said is that if I shift the threshold voltage, okay, अगर हम threshold voltage को shift कर देते हैं, let us say this is VDD, this is VT over here. तो आपका ऑन करंट विल टेक अ ह्यूज हिट, एज यू कैन सी. Okay, this is of course one of the reasons, as I I will tell all the reasons why VT cannot be increased. This is one of the main reasons. Your on current will be drastically reduced, and as a consequence, what will happen? Your fan out will decrease. Your 64-bit microprocessor means you have to at least drive 64 ICs at the output. We cannot do that. And also, if you are reducing this, your fan out will decrease, and also what will happen is C out upon I out. This is the net uh, uh, charging and discharging delay. We will look into that when we are dealing with the performance of the digital ICs. Okay, when we'll be dealing with the Elmore delays and logical effort and all those things. Okay, so this intrinsic delay part will also increase because your I out is decreased now, right? Your I on decrease हो रहा है. So basically this whole thing is going to increase. Your denominator कम हो रहा है तो total fraction तो increase हो जाएगा, right? So your performance will be terribly compromised. Okay, so I've already told you a couple of things. What is that? If you increase the VT, increasing VT results in number one, lower fan out. Number two, what is that? Lower performance. By performance, we usually refer to the speed of operation. Okay, maximum speed of operation will be compromised. Okay, I have only told two. I want you to find out more. Okay, there are several others. VT हम कभी बढ़ा नहीं सकते. In fact, one of the main like what should I say? Main interest in the scaling theory was that your VT should be reduced. Okay. Anyway, so we would try to we cannot increase VT. However, we would like to decrease the subthreshold slope. All right. So this is called subthreshold. This is threshold, subthreshold. That means lower than threshold. इसका जो slope है, इसको हम subthreshold slope कहते हैं. Okay. So now let us just little bit go into. I will not go into the details of how we are doing this modeling. This modeling is beyond the scope of this course. So we have, and for the last 40 minutes, we have essentially understood what is going on when VGS is less than threshold. Okay, चलो अब थोड़ा सा equations थोड़ा सा देख लेते कि कहाँ से आता है. ठीक है, you don't have to do the derivation. There will be no questions on this as well for AVLSI. Our PMMD friends, I'm sorry if I have given you less marks because you could not solve all this, but for ME Micro, this was very, very important. And it is very important even for the circuit designers. I will always encourage you one thing, that if you want to be a very good circuit designer, know devices very well. I have seen circuit designers who are good in circuits very well, but the problem is the moment there is a shift in the technology node, they will not be able to understand anything. ठीक है, जैसे कि आप लोग सर्किट्स बना रहे हो, बेझिझक बना रहे हो, बट सपोज सडनली आप क्वालकॉम में हो, and in Qualcomm suddenly the industry suddenly came up with an idea that from tomorrow we are going to work on a new technology node, that is 3 nanometer technology node. Okay, then what will you do? So all the circuit designers who know only circuits, or embedded systems people who know only circuits or embedded systems, they will be completely kind of, they will not even be able to make out anything if they do not know the operation of the devices at those technology nodes. That's why I always, in fact, I'll tell you my own story. I have seen my friends who are very good in circuits, okay, but they are stuck at 180 nanometers only. ये 180 नैनोमीटर से कभी हिलेंगे ही नहीं, क्योंकि दे आर नॉट इन 180 नैनोमीटर्स. दे नो हाउ द डिवाइसेस वर्क, बट दे डू नॉट नो how 3 nanometer devices work. But I know about that as well. Okay, they do not know how FinFETs work, but I know the FinFETs very well. Okay, so if you know devices very good, if your concepts on devices is very good, it is very easy. I'll literally use the term, it's very easy to move to circuits, because devices is much more fundamental. Okay, but it's not the other way around. No, if you know circuits very well, you may not know devices. In fact, actually these are all abstractions, right? So the circuits people, they give them the technology library, they will make you the circuits. Okay, nice, very good. But अगर लाइब्रेरी में कोई खोट है या लाइब्रेरी नहीं है, हमारा डिवाइसेस है टनल फेट्स, उसका कोई लाइब्रेरी नहीं है. कार्बन नैनोट्यूब फील्ड इफेक्ट सीएन फेट में कोई लाइब्रेरी नहीं है, कैसे करोगे? Those of you who are working on CNFETs, you will know that CNFETs they will use 8-spice model. In fact, some of you have written the projects also. I was just going through yesterday. So you will be using 8-spice model. Okay. So अगर आप 8-spice model लिखोगे, I have also commented that you will notice how do you make the layouts? Because it is a spice model. It is not the Cadence library which can give you the layout. So if you are making a carbon nanotube circuit, CNFET based circuit, if anybody asks you, okay, in that chip, what is the area constraint? You will not be able to understand. What are the parasitics? You will not be able to understand because you have not done the physical layout, because that is spice level. In fact, the same thing is true for our tunnel FETs also. We are unable to figure out what will be the exact parasitics because we do not have the library. लाइब्रेरी बनाने के लिए हमें एक्सपेरिमेंट्स करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है? So this is one abstraction. So the circuits people, once you give them the library, they will be boss. Okay? वो क्या कहते हैं? लाइब्रेरी दे दो, सर्किट्स लोग बाहुबली बन जाते हैं. लेकिन अगर लाइब्रेरी नहीं है तो बस पोपटलाल, काम खत्म. But you know what? The technology is going in such a manner that whatever library you are using within, like you are learning 180 nanometers. The moment you join Qualcomm, I spoke with my students in Intel and Qualcomm, MediaTek, and many are there. Micron, they are all moving towards 3 nanometer node. Seriously, 5 nanometers is already in production. तो आप यहाँ पर 180 नैनोमीटर में आप क्या उखाड़ोगे यार? समझ रहे हो ना? So you need to understand the devices very well, okay, to make good circuits. And the embedded people तो उसका तो और एक level high है. So embedded systems people, you actually deal with the architectures, right? So these are the level of abstractions. So devices people will provide the library. Then for the circuits people, so circuits people will make the circuits. Architecture people will essentially take the circuits directly, and then they will do the routing, pipelining, how to arrange it, how to do the packaging such that the entire system. So this architecture is actually on a system level. Okay, so this is a system level abstraction. This is a circuit level abstraction. So architecture people are like microprocessors. Microprocessor हम लोग क्या सीखते हैं? एक register लेते हैं. Okay, accumulator is a register. Okay, register कैसे बनता है? You don't know. You will simply plug and play those registers only. How to make a full microprocessor? But वो circuits people will make that register using the devices made by the devices people. The devices people will actually take the help of the materials people who will make the silicon wafer. Okay, so it's almost over time. So the materials people कौन है हमारे यहाँ पर? परीक्षित sir is the materials expert. Shan Kanungo, I'll put doctor here everywhere. Sorry. Shan Kanungo, he is a materials person. Okay. Then our Sanket Goel sir, he is a materials person. Okay, वो सब materials बनाते हैं, समझना रहा? Okay, Dr. Karumbaya. So those of you who are interested to work with them, you will actually be working on the material side. Devices people में myself, because I'm working, I will not bother about here materials क्या है. I will just directly go to Parikshit sir. Sir, you provide me with this kind of material. Okay, then we will work on it to make a proper device which can work on circuits. So I am in circuits also. So PMMD was under devices, circuits is this VLSI design and all that. But मुझे materials, I don't like actually. Sorry. Okay. So proper devices mein, I think I am the only one in our department. Our proper circuits mein, actually Saroj sir was there, but Saroj sir has gone to IIT Dharwad. Proper circuits. Architecture mein, we have got a lot of people like Sahu sir, then Amit Panda sir. So those of you who are interested, oh, I forgot, I'm so sorry. The in charge of the best person here is Soumya madam. Then Professor MB Srinivas sir. They are all into architecture. Oh, okay, Syed sir. We have got many people in architecture, okay, as you can see. In fact, architecture ka hamara Chetan sir. We are actually lacking on circuits and devices. Even architecture में हमारा ये भी आता है, Sumit Chatterjee sir. I think he's teaching you CAD for IC design, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that means you will notice this CAD for IC design. CAD is essentially on the architecture level. You will find placement and routing and all those things. Again, वो भी मेरा पाला नहीं पड़ता. I don't know. Okay. So these are all in, so many people are in architecture. So sometimes this architecture people will be teaching circuits also. Like Syed sir taught you VLSI design last time. Sumit sir taught ADVD last time. ADVD is analog and digital VLSI design. Syed sir is teaching microelectronic circuits this time, but that's okay. But whatever I have written over here is on the basis of their PhD specialization. Okay, based on their research expertise, let us say. In fact, Saroj sir was much better than me, to be honest. It was a big loss for our department. I think PMMD लोगों ने उनके साथ काम किया होगा. So Saroj sir was really good. In fact, I was there for during his interview, so I liked him. So, I mean, what can be done? So we are desperately looking for people in this devices and circuits group. So let's see. We have in the last round of interview, I found someone. If she joins, if she's a madam basically, if she joins, she will be adding to the pure devices. She has worked on the FinFETs in her PhD. She's from IIT Patna. And she has also worked in IIT BHU and all that postdoc. Okay, but circuits, we could not find anybody worthy. Okay, in fact, so this is how our VLSI group stands, to be honest. So, but you know what, I'll tell you, devices में ठीक है, 2-4 लोग चाहिए. Circuits में बहुत ज्यादा लोग चाहिए यार. बहुत ज्यादा लोग चाहिए. You look at any IITs and all, big IITs. IIT Madras का circuits तो forget. It's one of the best in the world, not India. IIT Bombay का devices group काफी strong है, but circuits is also very good. So IIT Bombay and IIT Madras, these devices and circuits are very, very good. But in our department, strangely, materials is. But actually, in IITs, this entire materials group forms a separate center. For example, if you look into IIT Kharagpur, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, anywhere, there will be material center. It's a completely different department altogether. तो जो लोग इनके साथ काम करेंगे ना, आपको लगेगा कि यहाँ पर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स कहाँ है. Okay, but BITS doesn't have a separate department for this, so that's why they are in electronics. ये एक्चुअली अलग डिपार्टमेंट ही हो जाता है. Any IITs in anywhere. Okay, mostly in fact the journals they submit their papers, the journals, the conferences they submit their papers, they usually do not even come into the typical VLSI conferences, VLSI things. Okay, but anyways, this is what the strengths are. So all I'm trying to tell you is that these are specialists in different domains, so to speak. So if you want to come out with a chip, you need materials people who will give the perfect silicon on insulator chip. The devices people, some people like me, who will essentially design the devices using PMMD stuff. Then there'll be people again like me or Saroj sir, who will essentially design the circuits using those devices. Okay, so our end product of our devices are the libraries or the models. Okay, जैसे for example, we all know this mu n Cox W by L, this kind of an equation. Using this equation only, you will go ahead for the circuits, right? Huh? We all know, right? ID is equal to beta by 2 VOV square. Correct. Saturation ka equation. So now, the point is, who gave you this equation? The devices people gave you this equation, using which you are designing the circuits. Correct? So these are some of the abstraction levels which you have to think about. All right. So now the time is over. So what we have understood here is the entire concept of the subthreshold conduction. Now, if you want to design low power designs, so हम लोग क्या करेंगे? First of all, we will not shift the VT towards the right at all. VT हम कभी कदापि, I mean, under no circumstances we will increase the VT at all, rather we will decrease it. Or else, even better, we can design the circuit at a VGS value slightly lower than VT. This is something which I had already explained in our PMMD. थोड़ा details में हो जाता है. That is called the moderate inversion region. After VGS crosses VT, it is called the strong inversion region. So थोड़ा VGS अगर VT से कम है, that is called the moderate inversion region, and the moderate inversion region is somewhere here. यहां पर डिजाइन करेंगे, आपको लगेगा कि करंट 0 है. नहीं, ये वाला जो कर्व है ना, इसको आप भूल जाओ. In modern technology, just forget this curve. ID VGS will be this one. Okay, all the magic happens over here. Tunnel FET, carbon nanotube, they are all built in this regime, sub-threshold regime. Okay, this is doesn't make sense anymore in modern world. All right, so when we are designing the circuits with VGS slightly lower than threshold, those kind of designs are called sub-threshold designs, and those are extremely helpful because, as you can see, the currents will be exponentially decreasing, right? So आपका current काफी कम जाएगा, probably 1 order less. Okay, of course you are going to have lower power and all that. Okay, but what are the disadvantages? आपका, as I said, ion will be reduced. Okay, but what are the things? Like you will be using this sub-threshold designs for low frequency applications. Okay, जहां पर आपको ज्यादा फ्रीक्वेंसी की जरूरत ही नहीं है. टिपिकल एग्जांपल, मेमोरी डिवाइसेस. ठीक है, मेमोरी डिवाइस, आपका पेन ड्राइव में तो आपकी कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है कि आप 3 गीगाहर्ट्ज में चलाओगे. आप आज ही, like after this class is over, whenever you get the time, you find out the frequency of operation of your pen drive. Okay, it will be working at much lower in megahertz order. That means we can afford to reduce the ion. ठीक है, हमें ये 10 माइक्रो एम्पियर्स की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. 0.1 माइक्रो एम्पियर से ही काम चलेगा. यहाँ पर 1 है, If you see straight here, it is 0.1. 0.1 microamperes is good enough. ये 10 power minus 7 is 0.1 microamperes. Good enough for our pen drives. इससे हमारा एडवांटेज क्या होगा? यानी आपका लीकेजेस बहुत कम होंगे. And that is basically one of the reasons, one of the factors why your pen drives will not lose your Bahubali movie even if you have not watched it. You forgot that pen drive for 10 years. On top of it, there are some certain circuit tricks, circuit techniques where it will even ensure that this 0.1 microamperes is still not leaking out. हम वो देखेंगे कैसे पेन ड्राइव्स, फ्लैश ड्राइव्स, हार्ड डिस्क कैसे बनाते हैं. Okay, that's all for today. In the next lecture or tomorrow probably, we will just skim through these equations so that we will understand how we arrive at this equation. And from this equation, we will try to get concept of about static leakage power. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for joining.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, how are we defining the scale? Means the ID and VGS plot. How are the values coming?
Just a second, I'll stop the recording.